A lot of people in our region aren't aware of the complex immigration system along the border. They're aware from the news that there are ebbs and flows in the patterns of people coming to the border, seeking asylum. But I'm not sure they're always aware of the difference that we can make by sharing information and empowering people. Every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. And we are at the front lines of that.
Here at ProBAR, we are all advocates in one way or another. We've grown a lot as an organization over the years, and our mission has stayed the same: to really empower immigrants, have them be informed when they first enter the U.S., but also to make sure that they're not alone. We don't always get to pick the policies that we're responding to, but we do get to decide to approach this work with care and humanity, and to me, I think that's one of the most important things that we do.
ProBAR was started in 1989, but it was a collaborative effort between the American Bar Association, the State Bar of Texas, and the American Immigration Lawyers Association. They all came together recognizing the need for additional pro bono assistance in the Valley. There were 5,000 asylum seekers detained in and around the region, and they came together to respond.
At that time, they called Port Isabel Detention Center, they called it El Corralón, and it was like the place, the roundup, where they round up all these people, and every time they found them, like anywhere, they'd send it to the Corralón. There was always too many people who needed help. You can make a difference as a lawyer, though. How do you get access to information? How do you get access to the documentary or other sort of evidence you need to defend yourself? If you don't have an advocate to be that link to the outside, you're getting deported. And many people got deported. But nobody we helped. We had this 100% success rate. We didn't have the resources, so we had pro bono attorneys that would come down in like a group. A firm would come down and they would ship printers, photocopiers. They would get a couple of hotel rooms and we would set up like an office out of there because they had the resources. And I think as the cases started to win and as the attorneys really loved it and the ABA promoted it in the different states and nationally, more attorneys said, yes, I want to do that kind of good work. So we always had a steady stream of people who were coming down to volunteer.
ProBAR was started to harness pro bono. That was the initial, idea for ProBAR. The majority of people who end up detained don't have resources to pay a private attorney. They're at a very vulnerable moment in their lives. So it's really essential to have ProBAR available and in these facilities where they can provide information, connection to services, representation, and even pro se assistance for those who go forward on their own.
Even in the brief moments when you're not able to address the breadth of someone's trauma, but to be a place that makes them feel for the moment taken care of, safe, and gives them some hope for what's next instead of fear of what's next is really powerful.
So many people have worked for this organization and have given everything they have for whether it was, a few months, a year, 10 years. People who come here don't come here haphazardly. They come because they have a passion and they want to make a difference.
I'm an advocate first and foremost, in whatever form that takes. The way I came to this work has really always been through advocacy for children. For me, it was always less about immigration and more about human dignity, treating people with respect and kindness.
I always knew I wanted to do something related to immigration and law because I come from an immigrant background. I was born in El Salvador, and so from a younger age I knew that that this was an area that was really important for me personally and also for my family. I always wanted to get an education and do something to help other people.
I myself am a child of immigrants. I think for me it's if we don't do it, then there might not be anyone else that's going to do something for these families. There's families that I'm the first person they're speaking to about, whether it's providing them information or whether it's offering them to try and help find resources. So I feel that if we weren't there, then there might be no one else there.
The people who work here do it out of a sense of deep empathy, passion, and justice.
Immigration is this funny thing. It's like one big, huge family nationwide. You meet like-minded people that become your forever friends. I was at a tender age of 23 to 25 when I was here, and the people that I did this with, they're still some of my best friends.
When I started, I was probably the youngest staff working with the children. It was really scary for me just because it was my first job. But I also had people mentoring me all the time. It was never my intention to be a supervisor. It was never my intention to become a director. The work just takes you there because part of the importance of this work is coaching, mentoring your coworkers and allowing them also to grow.
We inspire others and we persevere because we believe deeply in the purpose and the mission. And so when things get hard, we stay and we deal with the hard, as well as the beauty and the joy of the work. We're here to help others. That's the most satisfying thing you can do. And I think a lot of people find that here.
I recently spoke with one of those leaders who helped initiate the founding of ProBAR, and he said they intentionally used the name Probar to try. In Spanish, tienes que probarlo. You have to try it. So ever since our founding in 1989, we have embodied the spirit of trying, and trying again. And here in the Rio Grande Valley, we have had for decades a culture of welcoming people with dignity. We will continue that challenge. We will continue that journey together. Y como siempre, vamos a probarlo.